Hello and welcome to Hickory. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53. I partner with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for the iRacing Super Late Model Tour as part of their season-long or year-long fixed national tour. This race, obviously, as we said before, uses the fixed setups. We can't go into any Team 53 custom setups, but you can head over to team53racing.com, sign up for a full season of short track setups. It will be linked in the description below, or you can head over to our Discord. There's a $3 savings you pay with PayPal that you can do by joining our Discord. So, heading in here to Hickory, the one thing that you guys really need to know about Hickory are the bumps. Hickory is notorious for bumps. And it's something that we're going to use these bumps to our advantage as we're running through this race. So with it being a fixed setup, we always go into the garage and let's take a quick peek here. So really about the only change I think that I made was I went +4 on my steering offset. And all that's doing is it's taking the center line on my wheel, so that white line that I have on my Moza CS wheel, and it's taking it, and instead of it being at 12 o'clock, it's going to move it to like a 1 o'clock. So when I go into the corners to turn, my steering wheel, I don't have to go quite as far to the left as what I would otherwise. And if you're looking to upgrade your sim racing equipment, you can head over to Impel Motorsports. They're a huge supporter of mine. They have a bunch of Moza products on their website that you guys can purchase. R3 bundles, R5 bundles. Really cool stuff there. So let's head in here. We're going to do some far chase, and we'll just kind of take a look here and see how we do this. So we come out of the pits. You're going to tire heat. So if you've never tire heated before, it's a gas, brake, swerve, alternates. So left, right, gas, brake. And you're really just trying to get heat in the tires. And we're going to do that up until we get up on the backstretch. And then we're going to go high here in 3 and 4 and get a good head of steam. This is going to be a one lap wonder set. So my fastest lap was my lap 1. And once we got past lap 1, it was no good. So we hit the start finish line here at 103 miles an hour and we are banging out on the chip. Just so you guys can kind of see where I'm at placement wise on the track. I have triple monitors. We talk about this in all the videos. The left monitor is the one that has the window net pretty much equal to where it is in my real car. So it's going to be really, really important that you guys get up on this track and you get high enough on the straightaway so that you can get a good pitch into turn 1. So we're going to go high here. And you can see that it's pretty much this hood line lined up with this dash line is really what's going to tell you if you're up high enough. You just got to be up there on the track. And let's kind of look at where we're at here. I could even be a little bit higher if I really wanted to. But we're going to go in here and you can see right after the start finish line, we're already going to start lifting. I mean, I never really get to full throttle with this car either here at Hickory. So we lift, and we're going to use just a little bit of brake to set that nose, and it's a real trail brake. Now when we get into this corner, my goal is going to be to keep these right side tires right along these dash lines. And then as we get into the center of the corner, there's a big bump in the middle. And once we get through that bump, that's really where we're going to think about powering out and throttling up. So let's take a look here inside the car. You can see kind of where we're at spatially. It just kind of feels like a little bit of a no man's land as we turn here into this corner. We're not down here around the yellow. We're not way up, but we're just kind of rolling into this corner. And then as we get into the middle of the corner, you can see we just naturally pull down and it looks like here, it looks like we're way over this line, right? But when you look in the far chase cam, we're right there. And that's what you want. You want to hook that left front on that apron, which is going to help rotate that car around through center. And it's going to get you a really, really good pitch here up off the corner. You can see as soon as the car settles after going over that bump, you could kind of see it do like that little bit of a wave over it. As soon as it settles over that bump, we're going to throttle up and we're going to come up out of the corner. Now we're middle backstretch right here at the Hickory midpoint. That's where we're going to pitch it back here to get ready for turn 3. So we go around, we're lifting already, and then we're going to give it a little bit of brake. And we're going to give up time on entry here. So don't be surprised if you see your delta go red, because what we're going to do, that's going to get us around the center of this corner, and we're really going to be able to throttle up. So we rotate it through again right here. This is our point of the corner. When we get to this point here, right before the corner starts to straighten out, that's where we're going to throttle up, right? And it looks like we're straddling this line with our driver, right? We're right over the top of it. And we're just going to go through this corner, give it a little bit of a lift. And now once the corner straightens out, we throttle up and we're just going to drive right off this corner. And that's going to get us a 13.9. I have no doubt that as guys practice here over the next couple days, that 13.9 number is going to become even lesser. But I think for a baseline mark for this, I think it's a really, really good time. And speaking of a really good time, we have this nice little sponsorship right up above me here from HelloFresh. They have offered us a deal for you guys to get you a discount on meals sent right to your door. So if you're like me and you've got to cook for your family, it's a pain in the butt, but HelloFresh makes that simple with meals right to your door. You can decide what you want. If you have any allergies or anything like that, they'll avoid those for you. So it's a super cool deal. It's linked in the description below. Anytime you guys sign up for it with a new account, it goes a long way to helping us here at Team 53 with my racing here in real life, as well as my daughter who wants to start racing karts this summer. So let's just kind of go back here. We're going to give you a full lap in the cockpit without me talking so you can see its sights and sounds. So here you go. There you go. The big thing, like I said, the big thing here at Hickory is really knowing where you can throttle up. And it's kind of the old adage here with Hickory of just because you can get on throttle doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be faster. It's all about throttling in a straight line with the super late model. So if you can wait and get in that straight line, you'll be much better off. In terms of race pace, I think we had an 094 is really kind of where I'm at. So it's just the difference in tire heat, really. If you've ever wondered if tire heat matters, taking a fixed setup, it's the exact same setup, tire heating with it versus not tire heating and see how much faster you can be. So race line's going to be the exact same in this setup. A big thing though for you guys is going to be to go into your options if you have not already done so. Go to your controls and you want to set a brake bias. Set a button for your brake bias so that you can adjust that throughout the run. Particularly with iRacing fixed setups, it's super important. So as we look at this, we're at like a 51.3, I think, as a baseline brake bias, right? Yep, so we're at a 51.3. So when you're practicing, if you think that when you're under braking, that the rear end, the back of the car, feels like it's going to come out from underneath you and you can't control that all the time, what you want to do is you want to make this number bigger. You're going to move more brake bias to the front of the car, right? So that will tighten up the car. If when you're practicing, you're like, man, this feels really, really good really early, but after about 10 laps, the car just starts to plow. My best advice to you, leave this right where it is. And then after about 10 laps, whatever button you choose, just give it one click. Let it go for a couple laps, see how it feels, give it one more click. Now you have to be careful because 46 is your minimum. So you really only get, let's see how many clicks we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you get 9 clicks in this race. And I believe, don't quote me, but this is a 150 lap race. So if you were to adjust your brake bias about every 10 laps or so, you likely would run out of brake bias right around the end of the race, which is just about perfect brake bias adjustments. So just kind of keep that in mind here as you guys are running. Cautions, obviously, are going to help. That'll help cool the tires and reset them. The other big thing to think about here too is it's a relatively cool track. So we have our weather here. It's an 85-degree track. So when you get a lot of cars on this track, it's going to heat up. I would expect your race temps probably to be about 89 degrees, probably about a 4-degree bump just from having more cars and more rubber on the track. So what's going to happen over this long run of a race is that this second lane here in the corners is really going to start to develop. And I think as tires wear, you guys will probably be able to use the second lane. So you just got to keep that in mind as you're running around here, that if somebody gets to your inside, early on in the race, probably just let them go. I mean, it's Hickory. We all saw how much of a wreck fest these races were at New Smyrna. I think you're likely going to find the same, if not worse, at Hickory, just because it's so much smaller. Like, you're at a third of a mile track, roughly, um, with a lot of bumps, and there's a lot of people that are going to be running these races that are not used to running them. So just kind of keep that in mind here, especially if you're new to the super late model. Be patient, wait for people to wreck out, and you might be looking at a top 10 finish just in being able to finish the race alone. Um, so it's really all about that, and as the car gets tighter, use this apron here in one to help rotate the car. Use that apron. Use the apron in three. That will get your rotation too. If you can get the car down there, it'll get your rotation. But just don't be afraid to play around with stuff, to play around with lines, and see what works best for you. I'm just showing you guys what works for me. If you guys can too, head over to our partners, like I said, team53racing.com. Sign up for a Team 53 subscription. We do a ton of driver coaching. We use Garage 61 telemetry software and everything. Head over to our Facebook page, give us a like, and visit us in our Discord. We always like having new people in there. So, best of luck in this iRacing Super Late Model Tour race, and we will see you guys in the next video.